What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and this is for my ladies. This is my podcast where amazing things happen and we get to talk, discuss, and celebrate real women of color. This is for my ladies is just for you. This podcast is a place where I get to highlight not only my life dreams and goals, but yours too. I believe I was called to create a platform for myself to express not only my thoughts, but those of other women that's unfiltered and untamed. I plan to talk and discuss topics that interest me and other women. I want my audience to be engaged and aware. So any topics, email them to me at tishadediva@gmail.com. What's up, y'all? Y'all already know what time it is. This is for my ladies. Welcome back to season 4 of This is for my ladies, episode 58, okay? If you are not already subscribed to This is for my ladies, make sure you click the subscribe button right now, okay? This is for my ladies is streaming on 11 live podcast platforms, okay? So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, search This is for my ladies and there I shall be, okay? So let's just get right into it, you all. So over the weekend, we celebrated Valentine's Day. Last week, I had Lauren from Good Girl Chronicles to come in to talk about her Valentine's Day event, along with suicide prevention, mental illness prevention, and just dating. We talked about so much, and I really felt like it was very informative, and the information that she provided was just as great as far as all the resources to become a peer to help out anybody that you know who is struggling with mental illnesses or suicide or who is suicidal. She provided a lot of resources, you all. So if you have not checked out that episode, make sure you check out the episode of Good Girl Chronicles, okay? It was some gems that she dropped. So just make sure you all listen and check it out. So again, over the weekend, Friday was Valentine's Day. I hope everyone enjoyed their Valentine's Day. I know people feel like it's a very superficial holiday, and you know, a lot of people be like, "Oh, Valentine's Day is every day, yada yada yada, blah blah blah." But who cares? Like, there is a actual day set aside to show, you know, anybody that you love that you know you appreciate them, and that's why it's definitely important to understand what your love language is, so that people can understand how you deserve to be loved. As we already said, I done spoke on, you know, a couple of my episodes, my personal love language, it's going to be acts of service. I really appreciate those who do things for me. And the only reason why I appreciate those who do things for me is because I believe in reciprocity. I believe in reciprocating what is done for me. I'm a very thoughtful person. So you don't have to tell me a lot of things, or you can only tell me once, you know, in conversation what it is that you like or don't like and all that stuff. And immediately my mind is just like, oh, well, how can I be of service to this person? How can I do something, you know, nice for this person? Whether it be, you know, a person is studying to get their CDLs and I may go online and buy them a CDL book and gift them with that or whatever. You know, that's thoughtful things. Acts of service or gift giving, however you want to, you know, put it or whatever. But it's just doing something to just kind of alleviate any type of stress or any type of pressure or any type of frustrations that I may have because I have so much stuff going on. But, you know, it's just me by my lonesome. You know, I'm single. I'm not dating anybody. So, of course, my Valentine's Day was spent working. I didn't mind because, like I said, I have a lot of things that is going on. So I have to make sure that my funds and everything is in order. I have some international trips that are that I have planned this year. So I have to work. Like, I have to work because my funds and, you know, everything is all accounted for. I don't get a tax refund. You know, I'm jealous of those who do, but, you know, I don't get extra money or, you know, I have a server salary. So if I don't work, I don't get paid. I don't have no PTO. I don't have no sick time. I don't get no FMLA. I don't get any of that stuff or whatever. And I guess, of course, a little bit of it is a little bit by choice. I know over the years I have definitely struggled with working for, corporate jobs and feeling unhappy and not feeling satisfied and feeling overworked and underpaid and not feeling appreciated and all that stuff or whatever. So, I got out of that, and I knew that, service industry, it is service. I'm providing a service, whether it is somebody else's food, it is somebody else's business. But in that moment, I am the boss. And, so it is up to me and how I handle my air quote customers, air quote clients, and all that stuff or whatever, to make sure that they're completely satisfied, by going over and beyond, by providing legendary service and all that stuff or whatever. So that I can, my tips look pretty good or whatever. But I have been able, I have can confidently and proudly say that, as of January, like I had my car note and my car insurance paid up until April, that I was able to invest in myself and invest in a real estate investing class that I would be going to this week. So make sure you all stay tuned for next week's episode so that I can share with you all the information that I learned over my trip. And honestly, I may not even give you everything, I might just give you little bits and pieces, but this is for me to get and for me to be successful. And if I am called to it, to share more, to educate people on the real estate investing side, then God will prompt me to do that. But again, I'm literally starting from the bottom. This is something completely new that I am dabbling in. But you all, I have a millionaire mindset, and I know that I will be a millionaire, and I just know that I have to get there. So I need to make sure that I am exploring all avenues and how to get there. And everybody know that real estate is $1 million industry, okay? Everybody needs shelter. Everybody needs a place to stay. And it's been something that I have been wanting to get into after I graduated from high school, after I took my first semester at TCC over the summer. It was something that I said that I had wanted to do, but it's not something that I actually took initiative to do. And just imagine from 18 years old to 30 years old, had I gotten my real estate license and been doing it, like, come on, y'all, I would have been a fucking beast, okay? Excuse my language, but hey, y'all already know this is for my ladies, is unfiltered and untamed. But anyway, I literally would have been a beast. I probably would have already been a millionaire already, but it's never too late. I still have breath in my body, so this is my opportunity now. And granted, I don't know, anything can happen between me recording this podcast and me going home, but I speak against it. I just continue to just pray protection over my life. And if you are under the sound of my voice, I continue to pray protection over your life. Y'all know we in Mercury retrograde, okay? And Mercury retrograde is something that affects communication, travel, and all that stuff or whatever. They say to not sign any type of documents or to accept things or and all that stuff or whatever. But at the end of the day, if like for instance, today I took the time to apply for some new jobs. Granted, yes, I am in the service industry and the money is, I have been doing my thing with, my tips and all that stuff. I know that I need more. I know I need something that's going to challenge me. And I know that in order for me to gain more, I have to continuously step outside of the box, continuously reinvent myself, continuously rebrand myself, continuously to gain more knowledge. I have to continue to make sure that I do that so that I put myself in a position to receive more things. They say more money, more problems, but it's all in how you manage it. It's all in, how you budget your money, how you save your money. And speaking of budgeting and speaking of saving, I had my 3-month meeting with my financial advisor, with Miss Ashanti Bennett, that came on, and we talked about financial intimacy, financial literacy just a couple of months ago on my podcast. And I met with her, and she was explaining how proud of me that she is, because I've been doing so much better, and I have been doing better. I have been being more intentional about my money and being more intentional with my relationship with money and being more intentional with where my money goes and how I've been spending my money, and being intentional by again going a vegetarian lifestyle, going meat free, going, stopping the drinking and all that stuff or whatever. Because again, that's not extra money that I'm spending. That's more money that I'm able to have to make sure that my bills are paid, that I am on top of things, that I'm, paying ahead, so that I'm not in a position where I was 2 years ago and before that and all that stuff. Because let me tell you, y'all, 2 years ago, I was in probably some of the worst positions of my life. I was living my life, but I was unhappy. Things were, I was in a bind, like my car was going to get repossessed. This was just last year. My car was in repossession status. And I'm grateful and thankful for my mom, because I'm the type of person that I don't ask for things. Although I know I need it, I could need it like tremendously. I could need it really bad, and I will not ask anybody for any help, because I don't like for anything to be thrown in my face. And I don't like people to remember when I did this for you and all that stuff or whatever, because I will check a beep in a heartbeat, okay? Because if you didn't want to do it, you should have said no, okay? Like, don't help me just to throw it back in my face or to feel like I owe you anything. Because at the end of the day, I just be feeling like I don't owe nobody nothing. Whether you did it or not, I still don't owe you anything back. But again, because I do believe in reciprocity, just whatever's reciprocated to me, I want to make sure that I do reciprocate it back, okay? But still, if somebody is genuinely from the bottom of their heart helping you, like out of pure, genuine goodness, does it have to be paid back? Do I have to give you something back in return? Some people are just like, you know what? No, take it. I had it to give, so you're good. But anyway, like I just want to make sure that I continuously put myself in a position where I'm able to thrive, where I'm able to grow. And honestly, just today, I'll just be honest with you. I was just even feeling like, I don't think I want to do my podcast anymore. I think I just kind of want to just give it up. But in July, I'll be going into 2 years of doing my podcast. And, like, sometimes I'd be like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. And, people even really listen to podcasts, and people just have their own thing. And, but at the end of the day, whoever gets what I'm giving, that's who need it. Everybody isn't going to get what I'm giving. And that's absolutely fine. And I'm absolutely okay with that. So, I'm going to continue to do my podcast because it's a platform that I created, and it is something that I actually genuinely, truly love. And I would hate to just walk away from it and then an opportunity comes and it's passed over me. I don't want to be passed over. I don't want to be looked over, okay? Pass me not. Okay, what that song? Pass me not. Oh, I don't even know the rest of the words, but y'all know that church song. Oh, gentle Savior or something or whatever, you know. But anyway, I don't want to be passed over. I don't want the blessings to pass over me by just giving up. And I think that's what a lot of things that's been happening in a lot of people's lives when, they're almost right there. Like they are almost at the tippy top. They're right there and then they stop and their blessing was right there on the next side. I don't want to be like that. So even if I feel like, I don't have anything to talk about or and all that stuff or whatever, come on now. This is episode 58. I got 57 episodes that people can cycle through, that I can rotate and all that stuff if I'm feeling like, okay, you know what, but 58 is a lot. And it could have been more than that. But, I had went on a hiatus. I wasn't feeling inspired. I wasn't feeling creative or anything like that. But that's what I've been praying, more creativity, just more insight, just more, I just pray for more. I pray for abundance. I pray for increase. I speak abundance and I speak increase over my life. And I hope that you all that are listening, again, that are under the sound of my voice, are continuing to speak increase and abundance in your life, because there are some places in your life where you could use a little bit of increase. You could use a little bit of increase in your finances. You could use a little bit more increase in your self-esteem. You could use a little bit more increase just anywhere in your life, overall in your life. So I speak that is in your life as I speak it in my own life. And that's why I decided to invest in myself and go to the real estate investing class over the weekend that's going to be in New York. And again, like I was saying, back to Mercury retrograde, I just was reading something and all that stuff. And although we know that a lot of this stuff, like astrology and all that stuff, is for entertainment, sometimes it is still not to be taken lightly. Okay. Sometimes some things is said because it could be a sign. It could be something for you. And I know I read something that said for Mercury retrograde for Cancer, my birthday is July 16th. So I fall in the Cancer season. Cancer season, the best zodiac sign there is. But anyway, they said that Mercury retrograde would affect travel. Now, granted, I will be traveling. However, it said to make sure that I double check my travel plans. So today I took the time to download an app for toll calculations. I made sure I invested money into getting my car serviced because I had some issues with my car. And I'm like, I'm not driving all the way to New York with this knocking sound and all that stuff. But again, it's your car. That's just like with your body, with yourself. It needs maintenance. It needs work. So it's work that I needed done anyway. But again, I'm glad that I have been put in the position where I was able to pull out $350 of my pocket and it might not make a dent in it. I'm glad that I was able to invest in this class and also save up so that I have money for tolls, that I have money for parking, that I have money for my hotel, that I have money for gas, that I have money to eat. That's just me again being intentional and knowing that this is something that I am doing, so that I need to make sure that I put this aside for it, that I put a little aside. And I had a goal and I reached my goal. And now I want to go ahead and just stack a little bit on top of that goal, because again, anything can happen. And I just want to make sure that I am completely ready so that nothing can hinder what I have planned for me. Nothing can hinder what the universe has ordained for me, because I am going to go to that real estate investing class. I am going to win that grand prize of that money that they're giving away. Like, I am speaking this, you all. I am speaking this and I receive it. Okay. Like I said, I have an abundance check that, I had wrote out, and the dollar amount that they're giving away. And on the 23rd, when they're giving that away, that is the day of the new moon when I am to burn that abundance check. Okay. And if I got to go out in New Jersey, New York, or wherever I am at and burn that baby, let it burn. Okay. Because again, I am receiving all things that are positive, that are good to me. Okay. I am a money magnet and I will have everything. I've been doing more affirmations, money mantras, just all that stuff or whatever, like just preparing myself. So it's February and 2020 has been starting off really good. That's because I've been on a roll. I've been on top of things, and I want to continue to keep this momentum. I do not want it to die down. And usually March is usually always my turning point, but I am grateful that I have already been working since 2019. And I just feel like, in all honesty, you all, like, there has been some traumatic things that has happened in my life, like some very, very traumatic things that I deal with. But I am not allowing those traumatic things to define who I am. Okay. And I don't want it to define who you are either. And speaking of, traumatic things and being defined by things or whatever. And I always say, I don't want to get into celebrity gossip and all that stuff or whatever. But speaking of change, Dwayne Wade has been heavily in the media and the news and all that stuff because his son now wants to be addressed as she or her. And I think his son, I think the name is Zaya. His son wants to go by the name of Zaya. So I was about to say LeBron, but excuse me. Dwayne Wade has now a transgender son. And pause. I don't think anything is wrong with that, you all. And I feel like a lot of people have been expressing their opinion, and, but sometimes it's like your opinion, it means nothing. Just because that's what you feel and how you feel about it, or that's what you think about it, that means nothing, okay? And I feel like we need to continue to focus on our own household, on our own children. Meanwhile, everybody is saying how, just some people that I have seen say stuff about Dwayne Wade's son, and like, he's only 12, and he don't know what he want to be. A lot of Think about it. Honestly, think about it. I know so many gay men or even lesbian women that knew that when they were younger that something wasn't right, that they knew that they were different, that they knew they didn't like boys, or they knew they didn't like dresses, they knew they didn't like dolls, they knew they didn't like, action figures and all that stuff or whatever. And yet, parents would air quote beat the gay out of them, or beat, that sissy or that faggot stuff or whatever, and that still changed nothing. Some of them became very rebellious. Some of them became, addictive to certain things, and just a different lifestyle and a different change because they weren't accepted. I rather Dwayne Wade accept his son, okay? I'd rather for him to accept his son the way that he is than to disown him, and anything can happen. I feel like kind of sometimes the suicide rate is very high within the LGBTQ plus whatever community because they are not accepted. That's okay if you don't want that to be around you or and all that stuff. You can distance yourself from it, all right? You don't have to be around that. You are able to distance yourself from it, but it's not going to go away. As much as you disagree with it, as much as you don't like it and have an opinion about it, that is never going to go away, you all. That community is here to stay, and we can clearly even see within the government how they have lobbyists and activists that are going the bat for them. They're able to get laws changed. And while we're so worried about the LGBTQ community, just black people in general, like, worry about your own. Y'all are so worried about Dwayne Wade's son and his son wanted to be referred to as she or her and all that stuff. But meanwhile, you're raising a fucking gangster that's probably gonna be in jail like before they're even 18. Like, who? Focus on that. There's so much other things to be worried about than to be worried about Dwayne Wade's household, because at the end of the day, that man's still rich and can still do whatever he wants to do. Meanwhile, you still going to your little 9 to 5. You still broke. You still on social media every day with a comment, with an opinion about something. And this man is is allowing his son to live in his truth. Y'all don't allow y'all kids to live in their truth. Y'all kids love certain stuff, but they can't even love it because you've deemed that, oh, that's gay, or you shouldn't be doing that, or that's not for boys, or that's not for girls, or boys shouldn't be doing that, or girls shouldn't be doing that. Come on now. Like, we need to just, it's none of your business, all right? It's none of your business. None ya. Like, it's none of your business what he decide to allow for his air quote daughter to do. None of your business. And come on, how many sons do he have? 2? three or four. And what they say, one out of every three men are gonna be imprisoned, gay, or successful. Come on now. It's just the statistics in it. But anyway, I just think that we should focus on more important things. And I think that if, black people, if we focus more on important things like our finances, like our own household, like our own children and all that stuff, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter that Dwayane Wade's son wants to be referred to as Zaya, as a she or her and all that stuff. It does not matter. We have more things to be focused on. Like SOL testing is coming up for your kids. How are they going to do on their SOLs? Or to even know that those standard of learning tests, how they are used to see if your child is even going to go to jail. Do your child know how to read? Do your child know how to write? Are they going to be competent to survive in the world? So come on now. That's the stuff that we need to be worried about. That's the stuff that we need to be worried about. We need to be worried about getting into the school boards and all that stuff and finding out how we can eliminate these type of tests. We need to be going to the school board, seeing how we can make sure that we put accounting and finances and all that stuff in our school system so they can learn valuable life skills that they can take on in this world. Who gives a fuck? Who cares that that's what his son wants to be or how he wants to display himself when there's so much more important things to be worried about? Okay? Like, I really want y'all to hear me and I really want y'all to understand, because there is and another daggone thing. Where was the Black History programs at this month? I ain't heard nobody talking about Black History program, but y'all talking about Dwayane Wade's son, daughter. I'm still a little confused or whatever, but as long as his daddy and his stepmama and his siblings and all that stuff address him as how he wants to be, I can say whatever. Him, she, her, them, whatever, because I don't care. I don't care. But anyway, so it's just important to make sure that we just focus on ourselves and mind our business. Mind the business that pays you, okay? I'm going to repeat that again. Mind the business that pays you. If that whole saying, what you eat don't make me shit, that can't be the realest thing that I've ever heard. Seriously. That's why I have been, even in my own personal life, have been trying to, not focus on other things. Not if I can't control anything outside of me. The only thing that I can control is myself. The only thing that I can control are my own thoughts. And that's what I want to master. I want to be able to master control of my own self and master control of my thoughts. Anything outside of me is beyond me, okay? It's beyond me. I'm sorry. Like the man said, sorry. It's above me now. It's above me now. Seriously. Because if I can't physically change it, it's above me. There's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that I can say. It is what it is. And that's okay. That is okay. Like, it is okay. And speaking of it being okay, I had made a Twitter post, and it kind of correlated to a conversation that I had with one of my coworkers. So one of my coworkers, she, to me, and the whole holistic side and just health and all that stuff or whatever, she's very knowledgeable about it. And it's just not just even intentionally. It's like, it's very unintentional, but it's intentional because it's intentionally aids in, the health or the betterment of something. But she said, I was just doing it because I had a cold, or I was just doing it because I thought that, it gives me energy or something or whatever. But then when you dig deep into it, they have more health benefits from it and all that stuff or whatever. So one of my coworkers was just like, maybe you should go back to school for something like that or whatever. And she was just like, oh, yada, yada, yada. So like the next day, we were talking and I was like, well, speaking of our conversation that we had, I was like, you thought about maybe going back to school? And I felt like and she apologized, but me again, I don't care. I know where I'm going. So that's all that matters. Um, and she was just saying like, I don't know what I want to do. Like I ain't focused. I ain't worried about school right now. Yada yada yada. And she said, and I'm sorry, and I feel like I'm attacking you. I said, no, I don't feel attacked at all. I mean, I understand where there's coming from because you're uncertain about your future. So that could come off as frustrating or attacking. I'm confident in my future and I'm confident in where it is that I'm going. So it doesn't bother me that you're a little bit aggravated or frustrated or irritated and all that stuff or whatever, because you might just need to get it out, and then again she apologized again, but at this point I don't care. I was just really making conversation or whatever, but it can be kind of triggering for people who feel like that they don't have a plan. It can be triggering when you ask people, about their future and they're uncertain. They're undecided and they don't know. And it could be kind of triggering to be in your 30s and you still not have a clue. But it's okay. It's a lot of things to understand in this world. So it's okay if you don't know what you want to do or if you don't know what you want to be. Because there's a lot of things to understand. There's a lot of things to grasp. There are a lot of things to learn. So it's okay if you don't know. But you do have to figure it out. You do have to understand, like, what am I drawn to? What is it that I am drawn to? I'm drawn onto YouTube about health and all that stuff or whatever. What avenue can I take? Do I need to go back to school, or is this something that I actually can kind of just start pursuing right now? And if I do want to go to school later, I can. That's why it is important to kind of find out what your niche is. Find out what you're good at, what you're great at, what you love. Find out what you don't like. Find out what it is that you don't like so that you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. You know, and again, being a server currently and a bartender, I always say, I ain't trying to be waiting no tables after I'm 30. I ain't trying to be doing this and all this stuff after I'm 30. So therefore, I had to make sure that I set myself up now with real estate investing classes, with my podcast, with community advocacy, with just anything else that I want to do so that I don't have to be doing that after I'm 30. Because I know that's not what I want to be doing. And again, no judgment to anybody who is doing it after they're 30. But I know for me, as in me and my house, like they say, I will serve the Lord. As for me and my life, I know that's just not what I want to do. I know I don't want to be waiting tables. I know I don't want to be still in the food industry and service industry and all that stuff, because come on now, I'm a servant of God anyway. I am a servant of the universe anyway, so I'm always going to be of service to people, period. I just don't want to be serving no food to them, okay? The only person I'm trying to serve some food to is my man and my kids. All right, that's it. But again, I have to continue to make sure that I find out what it is that drives me and thrives me. That's why, again, sometimes when I talk about not wanting to do my podcast anymore, I am driven to do this. I'm driven to do it. I'm driven to do this because I can come in here with no paper, no pens, nothing in front of me, and I'm able to get in here and talk for 30, 45 minutes to an hour about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Because it's my podcast. It's mine. It's a platform that I created. And it's just something that I do love. It is something that I'm passionate about. And I do want to continue to make sure that I increase the listenerships. I just want to make sure that my podcast is heard by the people that need to hear it. And that's just where I'm at right now. That's just where I'm at right now. And I know some people be like, oh, did you listen to this so-and-so podcast? No. Did you listen to that podcast? No. I have my own podcast that I need to listen to. But again, I can still listen to, other, again, shout out to This Is 30 with Jernique podcast. Shout out to Ish Happens with Britt and Kit. Shout out to The Locked Room with Mike. And all those other podcasts, that locally, but other stuff or whatever outside of the locals and all that stuff, I'm pretty good on those. And the reason why is because, to me, we're the ones that need more of the support. Those other people, they already got a million listeners and all that stuff or whatever. And I'm not saying that I can't get anything from them or whatever, but that's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to get to where they are, and I don't need to be listening and comparing myself and all that stuff, because I'm over the comparison. I'm straight over it. I'm over it. So don't ever come to me asking me, did I listen to somebody else's podcast? Did you listen to mine? No? Get out of my face. That's just how I be feeling or whatever. Seriously. And I know some people be like, oh, yeah, well, I just want you to listen because they had this and they had that or whatever. So come to me and make the suggestion, but don't tell me who I need to listen to. Unless they got a book or something and they specifically are podcast gurus and all that stuff or whatever, or yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. But yeah. But anyway, I'm done ranting, because that's all that this was just me. That was a rant, but nothing else was a rant. Everything but some gems that I was dropping. Just make sure you know what it is that you want to do. Make sure you find what it is that you're passionate about. Get in tune with yourself. The more in tune that you get with yourself, the more you are exposed and unlock what it is that you were put on this earth for, okay? Some of you are so talented at a lot of things and you just don't know it, because you just don't know. You don't know. But it's okay to not know. But it's not okay to continue to stay in the same spot and not to continue to explore, okay? And that's what I want for you all. Continue to explore. Continue to dream. Dream. Like that saying says, if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough, or however it goes. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Continue to dream, okay? Because you are already on your path to get to your final destination. You just got to make sure, there are going to be some detours. You just got to make sure that you pull that map out and you know where you're going. You got to know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost. So have an idea. Have an idea of where it is that you want to go. You don't have to know how you're getting there, okay? Just know where you want to go. And fill in the gaps in between. So if you know that, okay, I want to do this, but I don't know, okay, I want to do this. Start putting building blocks in place. Build your steps. Because your steps is going to be your vehicle. You just got to know how you're going to get there. Okay, I know I want to be a real estate investor. My vehicle could literally be, okay, you know what? I've been applying for different jobs. That's going to be my vehicle and how I get there. I might have to get out that vehicle because the tire might get flat. The engine might go out. But you better believe I'm taxi, calling Uber, calling Lyft, and I'm on my way to get to where I need to go, okay? Find your vehicle. Find your vehicle so that you can get to your ultimate destination, all right? Understand, hear me out. Hearing me, take heed. Feel this thing, all right? Feel it. Pray, meditate, fast, sacrifice, give up some things so that you are able to get to where it is that you want to go. Say it every day. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then put the plan. Put it into action. Put it into action. The key to power, the key to having power is action, okay? If you want to have power, you have to take action, all right? And that's what I want you to do. I just want you to take action. 2020 vision. Take action, okay? It's great to have the vision. Have the vision. Have that vision in place. Have that tunnel vision. But you got to take action, okay? And that's all I got for you today, all right? So make sure you all listen to This Is For My Ladies. Again, streaming on 11 live podcast platforms. And also make sure you catch me tonight at 757 Dance. I guess I'll go ahead and make the announcement since today is Tuesday. I will be teaching. So come out and see me, you all. It's at 757 Dance, 176 South Rosemont Road, Virginia Beach, Virginia. It is $12 via Cash App. That Cash App is money symbol Jessica Ann, ANN 757. Money symbol Jessica Ann 757. And it is $12, okay? Make sure you arrive at 8:15 for class registration, and class will start promptly at 8:30, okay? So make sure you all check me out. This is For My Ladies. I am out.